Hello, everyone. A very good evening to everyone. I do have a bunch of people already over here. We are going to wait for a couple of more minutes for other people to join as well. Till then, please let me know if all of you can hear me loud and clearly. Let me bring up a poll. If I am audible to all of you, please let me know loud and clear. I am bringing up a poll asking if I am audible to all of you. Please let me know. Okay, Prachi says yes. Please mark in the poll as well. I see that everybody is marking yes. I am audible to everyone. That's a good thing. Okay. Before we begin a very interesting webinar that we have in hand today, what I would like from all of you is please tell me at what stage of your GMAT prep are you currently in? Are you just beginning with your GMAT prep, or are you halfway through? Are you almost done? Or you are just thinking of starting your GMAT prep? Whatever your status is right now, tell me. If you have already given the GMAT exam before, what was your score? Was it the focus edition of the GMAT, or was it the classical GMAT edition? If you have given any mocks recently, any particular data that should be relevant for me to know at what stage you are, because according to that I will be taking the course of this session. Okay, I would want all of you to be slightly interactive in this session. Let's make this session a two-way conversation rather than just similar to watching a YouTube video. Prachi says that she is in the middle of her prep. Okay, Prachi, that's good. I do have a few more answers in the private chat. Shruti says that she started preparing for GMAT, which means you have just started with it. Okay, great. If you want, you can share, you can chat with me privately as well. You can just change the settings to admin only from to everyone. Let me see how many people do I have. We are already 2 minutes. We are already at 7:02 p.m. here in India. Okay. Okay. Gaurav says that he attempted a mock and he got a 605. Okay. What do you think was a problem, Gaurav? What was your pain point, or in which topic or any particular module where you scored the least percentile? Please let me know. Anyways, let's begin with a very interesting session today. Uh, what we'll be talking about is very clearly visible to all of you. We are going to talk about what are the smart ways to solve quant questions in 2 minutes or in under 2 minutes. Okay, that is essentially going to help you increase your overall score from a 555 to something 700 plus. Okay, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Satyam Gupta. I am the quant lead and also mentor here at GMAT Viz. Okay, there are essentially two sections to this webinar. First is the main part where we talk about the agenda of this whole thing that we have. We will be solving a few questions here and there, and then for the last 10 minutes, I will open up the Q&A sessions. You can ask me anything at all related to GMAT, right? Of course, you can ask me questions during the main part as well. That is the first section where we will be solving a bunch of questions to understand the agenda. But however, if you have any generic GMAT related question or GMAT Viz related question, all of that we are going to keep for the Q&A section that is towards the end of the webinar. Let me quickly see any chat. Okay, Gaurav says that verbal pulled the whole score down. Okay, understood. So, what was your quant score, by the way? Please let me know that as well. Anyways, now let us begin with the first section. That is, why do students falter in quant questions, right? Why do you think this happens? And I would actually want all of you to tell me your answers as well. Why do you think that you falter in quant question, if at all you do? Right, what I think is there are primarily three reasons. Number one is the lack of conceptual clarity. If you do not know what are the concepts behind each and every topic. Okay, this is a very basic mistake that a lot of people do. Number two is when you do not read the question stem properly. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by not reading the question stem properly? We are going to discuss that as well. And number three is when they are too much focused on improving their timing, right? Of course, the topic or the agenda of today's webinar is based on solving the questions in 2 minutes. But do you really think your timing should be your priority? Is timing should be given more priority than accuracy? Is this the case? Do you think this inequality should be this the case? Is time can timing be given more priority than accuracy? Of course not, right? A lot of people, you will agree that this should not be the case, because if you're not getting the questions right, if your accuracy is not there, it doesn't matter if you're able to do it in 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're able to do it in 1 minute also, right? So this methodology or this ideology is very wrong. Okay, when you're focused too much on improving your timing, a lot of people fault in quant questions because of this. Okay, and this is the myth that we are gonna be focusing on today, right? Now, how do you ensure that you get your questions correct? We already know that why do students falter in quant questions. Now, how do we ensure that we do not do these mistakes? Is number one, you get your conceptual clarity, right? You improve your conceptual knowledge, be it whatever module. There are primarily three modules in quant, that is the number property, NP, there is word problems, WP, and then there is algebra, right? You have to get your conceptual knowledge right there. Okay, number two is you focus on the application skill. Okay, that is where you have to be absolutely at your best. You have to sharpen the application skills, and yeah, and by that I primarily mean three skills. That is the that is the inference skills, your simplification skills, and your creating cases skills. And thirdly, and the most important thing is, you have to not worry about time. Okay, read properly and solve questions. I will be doing a few questions that I will prove why this is so important, right? In this particular webinar, our primary focus would be on this middle thing, where we will focus on sharpening our application skills. Hand in hand, we will also be focusing on what are the smart ways to solve it. Okay, if your application skills are right, you will automatically build these smart ways to solve your questions in under 2 minutes. Okay, let me see if I have any questions. If you have any questions, definitely let's just use the chat section. Let this not be yet another YouTube video that you have seen hundreds of already on GMAT, right? Let this be as interactive as possible. I do see a few chats over here, but not a lot. So I would highly encourage all of you to ask questions. Okay, let us move forward. Now, common mistakes that one must avoid. We are going to primarily be talking about that. I do have 5 questions on various topics, how one can make a mistake and how do we use skills to avoid them. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about. This is the first question that we have in front of you, that you have in front of you. You can start solving it. Let me bring up the poll for you to mark your answer. Okay, guys, the question is in front of you. I hope all of you can see the poll as well to mark your options A, B, C, D, or E. When you're ready, please mark your answer. I will be on mute for exactly 2 to 2.5 minutes, and then we will start the discussion. Guys, 30 seconds more. Exactly 30 seconds more, and then we will start solving this question. Very interesting set of results that I'm getting in the poll. Okay, exactly 30 seconds more. Okay, so very interesting result. If I were to tell you how many people marked what option, then 80% of you marked C. The most number of people marked C, that is 80%. 10% of you marked A, and the rest 10% of you marked D. Now, I am very specifically talking to people who marked C, okay? That is most of the people. Just tell me, we wanted the greatest odd integral value of P plus Q, right? So did you or did you not do something like this? For example, Q is less than 10. So in place of Q, you took 9. And I know that P has to be less than Q, right? So you took 8 in case of P, and you marked 17. Yes or no? I want all of the people who marked C. Did you or did you not do this? Did you or did you not do this? For the people who marked C, 17, did you or did you not do this? Samagra, I'll come to you as well. Uh, okay. Okay, Vivek says yes. Aisha says yes. Everybody is saying yes. Okay, Shivam says yes. There has to be, there has to be no other reason why you would mark anything, other than the, any other reason, right? There has to be this reason, right? And this happens to be the biggest trap in this question. This happens to be the biggest trap in this question, which all of you fell for. Why? Because all of you were chasing time. All of you wanted to do this question as quickly as possible, something that I talked about in the beginning only. Why do students falter in questions? Because they do not read the question stem properly. Tell me honestly, did you read the question stem properly or not? You might think that you did, but you did not really do it properly. Therefore, your application skills went for a toss. You were not able to infer properly, right? You were not able to infer what was given, and you were not able to create the right cases that was necessary in this question. Okay, now let me talk about what the correct answer will be in this question. Step number one, we will analyze question stem. Again, here at GMAT Viz, we believe in three-step methodology. We believe in three-step methodology for any question that that you will ever do in quant, right? Step number one is always the analysis of the question stem. Whatever is given in the question stem, you read it and you analyze it properly. Okay, what is step number two? I'm going to talk about that as well. What is step number one is you jot down all the constraints that are given in the question. The first constraint being that Q has to be greater than P. Okay, I know that. Second one, P has to be greater than -5. Great. Number three, Q has to be less than 10. Okay. Now tell me this very important thing. Can you tell me what is the nature of P and Q? Is it an integer? Is it a fraction or decimal? Or is it a real number? P and Q, are they integers, are they fraction decimals, or are they real numbers? Tell me, all of you in the chat section. What are they? What is the nature of P and Q? Okay, someone said P and Q need not to be integer individually. Samagra says real. Vivek says real. Exactly, Vivek. If you are telling me that they are real numbers, then why did you take 9 plus 8 in place of P and Q? That is what the mistake was. Exactly. P and Q has to be real number, right? They have to be real numbers. If you are assuming them to be integers, or if you are assuming them to be a fraction or decimal, that is a trap that you are falling for. Because the question doesn't specifically tell us the nature or the constraint behind P and Q, we have to assume them to be real numbers. Okay, so that is there. Now we know that they are real numbers, and I hope all of you know the difference between real numbers, integers, fraction, and decimals, right? I hope all of you know that. Now that we know the nature of P and Q, let's move forward to the step number 2, right? The first step was you analyze the question stem. The second step in the 3-step methodology of GMAT Viz is you define the methodology, right? You just shape the methodology in which what you are going to apply to solve this question. Okay, now tell me this question: is it possible to get an odd integer by adding two decimal numbers? What do I need? I need the value of P plus Q to be as high as possible. I want it to be greatest, but I also want it to be odd. Okay, so is it possible for P and Q to have decimal values and still give me odd? Yes or no? Yes, it is very much possible. Very good. It is possible. If you're not sure, then just check by taking two decimal. For example, 1.7 and 1.3. If you add them up, you get a 3, which is an odd number, right? So if you want to basically add P and Q and you want an odd number out of it, this doesn't necessarily have to be 9 and 8, right? It can be something else as well. And what can it be? Let us see. Then comes our step number 3, which is calculating the final answer. So I hope the 3-step methodology of GMAT Viz is clear to you. Okay, the 3-step methodology. And we are very serious to this. Okay, we are very serious when it comes to the 3-step methodology, because we highly believe that this is your path to success when it comes to quant. Okay, now how do you calculate the final answer? I know that P is greater than -5, right? So basically this is the range of P, right? P can be -4, -2, -2.88, 1.6. It can be 1, it can be 6, it can be anything in the world, right? Similarly, we know that Q is less than 10. So this is basically the range of Q, right? Is the analysis complete? No, it's not, right? Because the maximum value of P will be less than 10. Right? Because I know that Q has to be greater than P. So whatever the value of Q is, so this is the maximum that Q can be. Let's just say this is maximum what Q max can be. And just behind that is where P max has to be. So the maximum value of P will be less than 10. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. So I can primarily say, I can sort of just take all of this and just apply my inference skill and say that P and Q both have to be less than 10, keeping in mind that P is less than Q. Okay. And if this is the case, then the value of P plus Q has to be less than 20, right? I hope all of you know this. If I have A less than, let's just say, B, and C less than D, then A plus C has to be less than B plus D. Okay, I hope all of you know this property of inequalities. Okay, so that is exactly what we are trying to achieve over here. Okay, we know that P and Q are both less than 10, so P plus Q has to be less than 20. and I need the greatest odd value of P plus Q. If P plus Q is less than 20, then what is the greatest odd value of P plus Q? It has to be 19, right? It has to be 19, and the answer will be option number D, 19. And one of the examples can actually be 9.8 and 9.6. The value of P and Q that would give you 19. Of course, 9.9 and 9.1 will also work, of course, right? I hope all of you understood this. Let me bring up a poll really quickly just to make sure everybody understood. I hope all of you understood this. Please let me know in the poll if this is clear to all of you. Yes, Vivek, it can be 9.9 and 9.1 as well. So the mistake that 80% of you made was not reading the question properly, focusing too much on time, right? Not giving the given constants enough credit, right? And not doing the correct analysis. So this is what is when we talk about being smart, right? When we talk about be smart while you are solving questions, to be able to do them under 2 minutes, right? Being smart doesn't mean not completely ignoring the analysis, right? Analysis is still the king. Okay. So I hope this is clear for everyone. Let us move to the next question. I mean, of course, we already talked about this probable mistake. For the people who marked C, what you must have done is you must have done 9 plus 8, 17, right? We already talked about this. So let me just skip this slide over here. What is the learning and the takeaway for the people who marked C? Your concepts were clear. That's very good. But where you missed was the analysis, inference, and applying the constraint part. That was the mistake. And for the people who mark A, B, and E, which I don't think a lot of people mark, 80% of you mark this, 10% of you mark, I believe one of you marked A, and the rest 10% of people marked D, and that was the correct answer. Okay, let us solve this question over here next. Let me bring up the poll again. Isha, P, can you please repeat how did we end for P is less than 10? The fact that P is less than 10, because we know that, see, if Q is less than 10 and P is sort of like this, okay, let me just write it like this. It is given that Q is less than 10, right? And it is given that P is less than Q. So doesn't that automatically mean that P is less than 10? So this is how we inferred this, Isha. Okay, Gaurav says given in the question, not exactly, Gaurav. P is less than 10 was not given in the question. Isha's question is correct. P less than 10 was not directly given in the question. It's something that we inferred. Okay. So Isha, I hope this is clear. Please let me know. Coming back to this one, yeah. Please continue, guys. The poll is also up. I hope all of you can see this. Yes, I have started getting the. Okay, great. I will be on mute for exactly 2 minutes. It will be, you can just write a mail to support@gmatviz.com and they will give you a recording of this webinar. Okay, maybe not this particular one, they might give you some other, the same recording that I took some other day. So yeah, it will be available. Okay guys, 30 seconds more. I would highly encourage all of you to mark something or the other, whatever you feel is closest to your analysis. Please mark something or the other, and then we shall start with the discussion of this particular question. Very interesting. Okay, exactly 30 seconds more. Okay, so I've ended the poll. Most of you, I guess not all of you, marked your answer. Or I don't know if there is some glitch with the poll over here. But what I would want is all of you to please write your answer in the comment section as well. If you want, you can do. If you want, you can do it privately as well. A, B, C, D, or E, whatever your answer is, please mark in the poll as well. Right now, coming to this question, why this question? Okay, why is because there's a very good trap in this question. Okay, it says that I've been given a particular expression. If I were to write this expression properly or slightly bigger, it goes like this: 1 upon 3 minus 6 divided by x minus 4 now is defined. Okay, now the question is asking us, this expression is defined for which of the following values of x. Now what do you mean by defined? Can someone tell me what do you mean by defined? Defined basically means is when I have something, let's just say 2 upon 0, this is what comes under not defined, right? Because you cannot define anything when you divide something by 0, right? I cannot divide something if I do not have anything to divide it with, right? So 2 divided by 0 is not defined, right? So this is the basic understanding when it comes to being defined or not defined. So what a lot of people would do is they would think that I do not want this part of it to be 0, right? For my this whole thing to be defined. So what a lot of people would do is they would do, 3 minus 6 upon x minus 4. I do not want this to be a 0, right? And if I go ahead and solve this a little bit, I get something like this, right? Which again, if I solve, I have something like this. So I do not want this. So I do not basically want x to be 6. So as long as x is 6, whenever x is 6, this whole thing will be 0, right? And this whole thing will become undefined. So as long as x is not 6, my expression is defined. As long as x is not 6, my expression is actually defined, right? So what they would do is they would mark, they would think that for 1 and for 3, it is defined, right? What they can do is one of the options it doesn't have over here, but one of the options will definitely be 1 and 3, will definitely be 1 and 3 only, right? If I change the options, let's just say I change one of the options to 1 and 3 only, would you go ahead and mark this? How many of you would go ahead and mark this? How many of you would go ahead and mark C? If I change option number C, 1 and 3 only, how many of you would mark option 3? Tell me. Okay, Shubham says that he will mark option C. Anybody else? Okay, Vivek says no. Interesting. Why, Vivek? Shruti also said no. Why? Okay, a lot of you are saying why, no, but why no? Because I just now figured out that as long as x is not 6, my expression is defined, right? X is equals to 6 is what is making the whole expression undefined, right? It will be an equation. Very good, Vivek. Very good. Because, so see, I know that my answer will not contain this, right? X cannot be 6. I know that. Okay, so this thing is settled. However, can X be 4? Can X be 4? Just think about it. If I plug 1 upon 3 minus 6 divided by 4 minus 4, this will be 4 minus 4, right? So what will this be? This part will be undefined, right? So this becomes 1 upon 3 minus not defined. So 3 minus not defined also happens to be not defined, right? So this part is still not defined. This is still not real or imaginary, in fact, right? So even x equals to 4 also makes it undefined, and x equals to 8 is the only thing that makes this whole expression defined. That's why answer will be option number B. Even if option number C is 1 and 3 only, the answer is still option number B. Okay, so the limited conceptual knowledge behind, okay, if I have anything divided by 2, it would be not defined. That is what would keep you from getting this question correct. Okay, because even for x equals to 4, it doesn't happen. Very good, Gaurav. You can't subtract something which is undefined. Very good. X plus 4 also gives not defined. True. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. I hope is I hope this one is clear. Let me bring up a poll really quickly just to. Please let me know, guys, if this is clear. Prachi, this will be somewhat about this can be considered as a medium hard question. Not exactly very medium, but can be considered as a medium hard question. Okay, just because of that x equals to 4. If that x equals to 4 would have not existed, it can very well be a medium question in that case. Okay, I see that everybody's marking yes, so this is clear to everyone. Very good. Let us move ahead. I do have one DS question, okay, that I am going to discuss if I have time towards the end. This is a very good question. Of course, DS is not technically is not part of quant. This is part of data insights now, but I still kept this question because there's a very good learning in this one. Okay, I'll get back to it if we have time. So let me just skip through this one as of now. Okay, if we have time, we'll definitely get back to it. Okay, really quickly, let's just move on to the next question. There's very good takeaway and all in this question. We will come back. We'll see if we can come back. Okay, before I move any forward, I do have a quick announcement to make, guys. There's a very special GMAT day offer going on right now on our website. There are very exciting offers. There are very exciting discounts that is currently going on, and I would highly recommend all of you to definitely check it out. Let me give you a link to the website over here. Let me, there you go. This is the website. Please, all of you, check out the website. Very interesting offers going on. Let me give you the links to the basic plans as well. This is the offers. You can check out the offers as well. Okay, we are practically giving away approximately 40 to 50% off currently. Okay, so definitely check them out. Already subscribed, anything more to offer? If you're already a subscriber, if you have already taken the subscription, you I don't think you need to go ahead and take another subscription, right? If there's anything else that we can offer you, I think you should be able to get this answer from support team as well, whose email ID I'm going to share towards the end of the webinar. Okay, I'll share with you the WhatsApp numbers as well, WhatsApp number and everything, and you can talk to them if you can have anything more. Okay, guys, this is the next question. Again, very interesting one. Let me bring up the poll. What is Brahma Reddy says, what's the final answer? What's the final answer of what? Of the previous question that we did? Are you talking about that? Okay, let me bring up the poll for this one, guys. You can start doing this question. Let me bring up the poll. The question is in front of you. I have also updated the poll. So when you're ready, please mark your answer. I have a bunch of responses already. Okay, I'll give 30 seconds more and then we will start the discussion, guys. Exactly 30 seconds more. Okay, guys. So a bunch of you have given your responses. If I were to tell you, so close to 25% of you marked B. Okay, 41 percentage of you marked C, and approx 33 percentage of you marked E as well. Let me see if I have any chat. A couple of you were asking. I think more than 2 min are gone. Okay. Can I please get the previous question and its answer? Last question. Previous question. Do you mean the question that I skipped, or do you mean the question that we did? Let me just quickly go back to this question. Yeah. The answer to this question was option number B. That is 3 only. X equals to 8 is going to be the only number that will make the given expression defined. X equals to 4 and 6 is not going to make it defined. Brahma and Vibhor, I hope you were talking about this question. Okay. So yeah, now let us get back to the question that we were solving. Okay. Yeah. So again, it's pretty much spread apart, right? Approx 1/4 of you have marked B, some people marked C, some people marked E as well. Now tell me this. Have any of you done this? The given question is, okay, mod of A equals to 5 of A plus 7. Okay. Did any of you did the squaring of both the sides? Yes or no? Did any of you do this? Okay, Vibhor, I will get to that question. I will just tell you the answer and maybe like give you the time to take the screenshot as well. First of all, let's just focus on this one as of now. I'll definitely get back to that. Okay. Any one of you did this squaring both side thing? Anyone at all? Okay, Prachi says no, Vibhor says no, Shruti says no, Sonika says no. Okay. So let me just ask it in a different way. How did you get to this? How did you get option number B? How did you get option number B? I'm talking to the 25% people who got B, and also to the 33% of the people who got E. I would like to hear your methodology. Any one methodology. People who marked B and E. Anyone? putting values in the expression. Okay, you went ahead and you put the values. That's not really a smart way of doing it, honestly. The Is it really a smart way of doing it? Will you really be able to do it in 2 minutes if you go ahead and put values, plus and minus of whole equations? Okay, solving for mod. Okay, assumed a to be a and minus a for each value, you get b and c respectively. Okay, very good. What I can say is, people who got this, you must have got both the values of a. You must have got a equals to minus 7 by 4 and a equals to minus 7 by 6. Okay, and you did not know which one to mark. That is why you went ahead and marked option number E. That is cannot be determined. Okay, now when you got these two values of a, did you go ahead and plug them to see if they actually work or not? You must have not, otherwise you would have not worked, otherwise you would have not marked this, because a equals to minus 7 by 4 actually doesn't work in this case. Okay, let me tell you the best way of solving this. I hope all of you know this, that if I have a mod of a, then mod of a can actually be a and minus a. Okay, but this happens, like both these scenarios are two different scenarios, and both of them happens under a certain condition. What is the condition? Mod of a can be replaced with a if a is non-negative, that is the value of a is greater than or equal to 0, whereas mod of a can be replaced as minus a if the value of a is negative, that is less than 0. Okay, these are the two cases on which the values stand. Okay, now what we will do is case number one. Case number one, it says that mod of a equals to, so what we are going to do is we are going to replace mod of a with a. So my equation becomes a equals to 5a plus a, but this case stands on the condition that a has to be greater than equal to 0. Okay, so if I go ahead and do it, I get minus 4a equals to 7, and the value of a that we get is minus 7 by 4. Now this value I am getting, now is this according to the condition that this case was standing on? Right, this case was only valid if x, the value of a, is greater than equal to 0, and the value of a that I am getting is negative, which means this is an invalid case. This is an invalid case. Whereas case number 2 is where we are going to replace mod of a with minus a, and then just write the rest of the thing as is. Okay, and if you go ahead and find the value of a in this one, you're going to get minus 7 by 6, which is absolutely a valid case, right? Because a was supposed to be negative, that is why answer will be option number C, which 41% of you marked, which 41% of you marked, and 25 and 33% of you made the mistake of marking B or E. Okay, let me see if I have any other chat. Okay, solving for mod. Okay, Gaurav says assumed a to be a and minus a for each, you get b and c respectively. Okay, drew both the graphs. We saw x equals to minus a and y equals to, intersecting and solve it to get c. Okay, if again you can definitely make graphs for this particular equation as well. If you're good with graphs, if you think you should be, you will be able to solve it within the given time limit, works. However, what I would recommend is whenever you get questions related to mod, this is something that GMAT basically tests your knowledge in. If you know this particular uh, topic, or like this particular whatever you can call it, right, thing or not. I hope this is clear. Let me bring in the poll really quickly. Please let me know, guys, if this is clear. Please mark in the poll yes or no if this is clear or not. I hope all of you can see the poll. Okay, Vivek said that he solved the way that I solved as well, just to confirm after the graph method. Okay, works. But then again, there should not, you should not put yourself in a place where you need to, reconfirm your answer, because you're not really going to have that much of time. Okay, let me put up the poll. Anybody having any doubts in this one, please mark in the poll if this is clear, yes or no. The poll is up. Okay, I see everybody is marking yes, so that's a good thing. Yeah, so some of you were talking about the question that I skipped. Yeah, so this was the question. If you want, okay, you know what? Let me see. If I do not get time to solve that, I'll definitely come back and show you the question and the answer both as well. But I would actually like to solve that question. It depends on the time that I have. Okay. Again, this is the next question. Sort of an easy question, but there's actually one. Okay, Swati says why -7/8 is not correct. Where are you getting -7/8, Swati? -7/4, -7/6. You should have confusion between these two as only. Where is this coming from? -7/8. But graph shows clearly the value for the not supposed to be. Of course, we are not taking the root formula anyway. We are not solving the equation as is. We are making two different cases. Of course, if you go ahead and square both sides, and you take the quadratic equation way, you are gonna get a equals to 7/6 and -7/4. That is not the right way anyway. I inserted it and it returns a as positive. You inserted -7/8, and is it really satisfying? Is the equation satisfying? So my logic was 5a plus 7 should be positive. 5a plus 7, there's 5a plus 7 need not be positive. This equation should be satisfied. If you're putting -7/8, so mod of -7/8 equals to 5 times -7/8 plus 7. Is this equation being satisfied? That is the question. Is this being satisfied? Yes or no? I don't think it will. Okay, guys, let us move to the question number 5. This is question number 5. Let me bring up the poll for you. Okay, guys, the poll is up. The question is also in front of you. Okay, when you're ready, please mark your answer. Okay, guys, 30 seconds more. Exactly 30 seconds more. As of now, the distribution of your answers are pretty even, right? So I would like to see some disparity, okay? 30 seconds more. If needed, I'm going to give another 30 seconds, okay? But I would highly encourage all of you to mark something or the other. Okay, it's literally all over the place. If I were to tell you the correct distribution of the answer choices, then it goes like this: 28% of you marked A and 28% of you marked C, and then 14%, 14%, and 14% of you marked B, D, and E. So it's just literally all over the place. Okay, all the options were touched. Okay, it's honestly a simple question. The only thing that you can falter is the calculation part, right? And most of you must have faltered in that as well, right? Because the correct answer is going to be B, which only 14% of you mark. So all of these people got this question wrong, okay? And I believe calculation is something where all of you must have fell for, provided that your concepts are clear, of course. Okay, so let's just do this question. Okay, it says that the amount allocated to the expenses of a school increases by 1/8 of the budget in the previous year. So whatever the amount that was in the previous year, it has increased by 1/8 in the current year. Okay, uh, if at the end of 3 years the amount allocated to the expenses was 16,038, what was the budget of expense that was in the beginning of 3 years? Okay, so every year it increases by 1/8, right? So can I or can I not say that my current budget equals to the the budget of the expenses 3 years ago? Let us just assume that to be X. Okay, so that equals to X times 1 plus 1 upon 8 whole cube. Yes or no? Yeah, and rather I can replace the current budget that is given to us 16038 equals to X 1 plus 1 upon 8. Is this expression clear to everyone? Yes or no? I just want a yes and a no. Is this expression clear to everyone? I want a yes or a no. Is this expression clear to everyone? When I increase something by 1/8, because we are increasing it by 1/8 every year, right? For example, okay, for okay, so this is not clear for people. Okay, uh, let's just say that my at the beginning of the 3 years, okay, or rather, let's just say first year, my budget was X. Okay, so what is the budget going to be for second year? Right, it has to be increased by 1/8, right? So it means that it has to be X plus 1 plus 1/8, which means it has to be 9x. It has to be 9x by 8, right? Increasing by 1/8 means this is what it means by increasing by 1/8. Okay, so this is the beginning of the first year. Okay, let me write beginning of first year. This is beginning of second year, right? And then beginning of third year is going to be X times 1 plus 1/8 square, right? Or rather, a better way would be whatever my budget was in the second year, it's going to be that plus times 1 by 1/8, which is essentially equals to that same thing, but when just I just have to square it. This is how compounding works, right? When you are increasing this in the previous year, when I increase 1/8 of the budget allocate of the previous year, this is how compounding works. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Since it is the end of 3 year, not the start of the fourth year, y cube, there was some confusion whether the power will be 2 or 3. Okay, so why will it be 3? Okay, so good question. Because the question is already the question is also the question already tells us that the end of 3 years of course means the beginning. Okay, end of 3 years, the budget is already given to us. Okay, so why would they ask us the beginning of the 3 years, right? That would not make sense. So this is how you understand that end of 3 years means you will have to increase it. You will have to cube it, right? Because I already know that by the end of every year the budget increases by 1/8 of the previous year. Okay, so this is how you know that it has to be cubed. Now the problem now what comes over here is how do you calculate this, and how do you calculate it in a smart way? Okay, how do you calculate this in a very smart way? That should be that is the key, because getting to this was comparatively easy, right? So I have something like this equals to X times 9 times 9 times 9 divided by 8 times 8 times 8. Now how do you calculate this? Why does GMAT expect you to calculate this and answer it in 2 minutes? It expects you because of a trick, a smart way that it can be handled with. For example, the value of X is going to be 16038 times 8 times 8 times 8, and this whole thing will be divided by 9 times 9 times 9. I know this. Now, how do you calculate this in a smart way? You do not actually have to go ahead and do this calculation. Why? There is just some part of the calculation that you can do, and rest of it can be inferred, and you can mark your answer really quickly. Okay, what part do I expect you to do is I expect you to be able to cancel 16038 with 9 easily. Okay, so that's going to be 1782, and then again if you are able to cancel this by 9 once more, it's going to be 198. Maybe like once more, if you see, it is going to give us 22. Okay, so essentially the value of X is 22 times 8 times 8 times 8. Once you are down to this one, there is no need to do any further calculation. right? Why? Because you can take the help of unit digits to answer your question from here itself. Okay, what do you think will be the unit digit of this calculation? What do you think will be the unit digit of, like, if you calculate this, what do you think will be the unit digit, right? Anyone, what do you think will be the unit digit? Anyone, what is going to be the unit digit? Very good, Vibhu. Very good. Very good. Very good, Shruti. Very good, Sonika. Very good, Abhishek. The unit digit is going to be 4. And tell me, do I need to calculate this, or just by knowing the unit digit I can mark the answer? Can I not mark the answer straight away? Yes, very good. I can straight away mark the answer as option number B, because option number B is the only one that has unit digit as 4. So provided that you have done all of these correctly, you do not always need to do the full calculation, right? Because you have to understand the mentality of the people who are making these questions. How can they expect you to do such a calculation in under 2 minutes, right? They expect us to do this Yeah, they do not expect us to do this calculation. There's a reason why options are given, right? Because of these small tricks. These are the smart ways. The agenda of today's webinar was smart ways to solve question in under 2 minutes. There were a couple of questions where we focused so much on getting the right inferences, doing the right analysis, understanding the constraints. And then there were a couple of questions where we literally used smart ways rather than taking the longer route to solve the questions. Okay, Vivek, once more, please say this last calculation part again. If you want, you can take a screenshot really quickly. The unit digit of this whole thing has to be 4. Okay, I hope all of you understood that there was this one question that we skipped, which if you want, you can really quickly take the screenshot. Is This was the question. Answer is option number D. You can take a screenshot really quickly if you want. I really wanted to solve this one, but there is no time. So what I would want is all of you to solve this question on your own, and you can send me your answers if you want me to review it and send you my opinion on your solution. I would definitely uh, share my opinion as well. Okay, guys, the Q&A session is up now. If you have any question, by the way, I would highly recommend all of you to register for the free trial session. The GMAT Focus Edition course is also up on our platform. The whole of the data interpretation part, two-part analysis, table analysis, graphic interpretation, and like multi-source reasoning, data sufficiency, everything is up. Our question bank is also up. So definitely register for the free trial. You can write to support at gmatwiz.com as well. There's a very good discount that's going on. Let me bring back the couple of links that I shared earlier. Okay, if you have any doubts, anything, any question that you want to ask me, go ahead and ask me. I do see the couple of questions are already in the chat, so I am gonna reply to those as well. Apart from this, let me just share you my email ID as well. If you want to get connected with me, you can do that. This is my email ID, satyam@gmatwiz.com. Okay, I do have a couple of questions. Can we get intensive calculation question also in the exam? They have provided calculators also in the exam. Is it useful? Calculators are not provided in the quant section anymore, Vibhor. I don't know if you know this or not. They do give a basic calculators, but that is in the DI section. In quant section, you no longer have the basic calculators. Okay. Uh, Vivek says, so we are given E times 9 cube times 8 cube, which is this, and we need to find the value of E times 9 square times 8 square. Uh, no, not really. Again, I guess you have the confusion of end of 3 years and the beginning of 3 years. Okay, so that is where your confusion is. End of 3 year primarily means beginning of the fourth year. Okay, that should be able to solve your issue. We were asked the value of exit only over here. This was the given expression. Okay. Anything else, guys? If you do not have any question, feel free to drop off. If you have any question, I'm here for some time. We need to find at the start of 3 years. No, the question was asking us what was the expense at the beginning of 3 years. Okay, what was the budget for expenses at the beginning of 3 years? The amount allocated to the expense of a school increased by 1/8 of the budget allocated in the previous year if at the end of 3 years. Okay. Now I see what you are talking about. Okay. Now I see what you're talking about. Uh, let me just change this to. Let me just change this question slightly in the beginning of first year. Okay. Okay, Vivek. I'm so sorry. Now I see what you were talking about. No. You were right. Now I know what you were talking about. What your confusion was since the beginning. Now I know what the confusion was. It was the beginning of first year. Okay, thank you so much for pointing that out for everybody else as well. That was a typing mistake. Okay, anyways, no, there might be a typing mistake over here, but honestly, the learning in this question was primarily regarding this. This is what I was talking about, right? That if you get a if you get a question that demands calculation, something like this, look for these shortcut methods. Look for these smart ways to be able to do them. Do not just go ahead and do this calculation. Okay, the question might be something else. It doesn't matter. The focus or the agenda was to be able to get to this and tell you that the unit digit is what you can take the help of when you get stuck in such a situation. Okay, anyone else, any other question? If you do not have any other question, you can feel free to drop. Otherwise, I am here for some time. Okay, you're welcome, Shruti. Thank you so much, Vivek. You're welcome, Shruti. I'll see you around. Anyone else, any other question? Okay, guys, I do not see any other question, so I am dropping off. If you have any further doubts or regarding anything, you have my email ID. You also have the WhatsApp number and the email ID of the support. Okay, so we'll get connected over there. Thank you so much for the session, and I'll see you around.